Hi, I'm Sheila. Welcome to my channel. First of all, you guys, I am on my new camera and I just want you all to know that because I'm not sure if the settings is correct, but I will figure it out as I go, okay? But what I come in to do, or what I want to make a video on, is these two palettes. Actually, this one palette. It is the W7 In the Mood palette. It's the In the Mood Natural Nudes Eye Color palette from W7. I purchased this from eBay or Amazon. I don't know which one, but it looks like this in the inside. If you look at it, you should notice something. It is similar to another palette, a more high-end, or some consider it a high-end palette. I consider it as a high-end palette. It's very similar, and the palette that I'm speaking of is the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. This one here. This is the first one, as you can tell. It is very similar, and I'll hold both of them together. Alright. Now that is what they look like together, side by side or whatnot. However you want to say it. But that's how they look, and I don't want to drop neither one of them. But that's how they look right there, side by side, very similar. Alright. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to present this palette, this W7 palette In the Mood Natural Nudes Eye Color palette, to any of you that may be on a budget and that is looking for an alternative to the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. I know myself, I love to get deals. Anytime I can find a deal, I love it. And I've always been a drugstore type of makeup girl. So if I can find a product for a cheaper price, I will rather choose the cheaper price product than the higher end product. So I noticed this palette because if you can remember, in a few of my videos a while back, I had purchased some W7 palettes. A friend had mentioned this company to me, or this cosmetics to me, and I've never heard of them because it is a UK brand, if I'm not mistaken, the W7 brand. And I did that video, and these palettes are lovely, and they do have names for every shade. And I saw on another video not too long ago that one of the person that was doing the video said that this one and that one and this one is comparable to the Naked 1, 2, and 3. I don't know, but that's what was said in the video, and I think that she's most likely correct because when I look at it, they are very similar. So I wanted to take these palettes right here because and I just wanted to show you if any of these colors are similar, okay? That's what I want to do. I want to see is there any similarities. I'm going to start with the colors from left to right. So I'll be start with Venus on this side, and for this color it will be Shrimp on this side, okay? So I'm going to swatch both of them and just let you see how these colors are, how they look side by side. Starting with the, hold on for a minute. Let me swatch them first. Alright, this is the W7 palette that I'm basically talking about. This is the color called Shrimp. As you can tell, this one is a bit powdery or chalky. But with the primer, it is beautiful. Okay, with the primer, the color sticks out. But without primer, they are powdery or chalky. Okay, so that is the color Shrimp from the W7 palette. From the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette, this is the shade Venus. And yeah, this is very smooth, as you know. This is Venus. This is Shrimp. Like I said, this one is powdery. This one is more chalky, and the one from the Urban Decay palette. It's more smoother in texture. And this one, to me, Venus shade is a little bit shimmery or satin. I'm not sure. I need to find out what the difference between those two. I would say more satin-like. It's not matte. It's not shimmery, but it's not, you know, like I said, not matte. When the color from the W7 palette is more matte, but it's powdery. And as far as the color comparison, they are very close in color, but there is a slight difference. This color to me looks like it's more pearly colored, when this one right here is a little bit more like a white, like a white shade, a white eyeshadow shade. This one looks more like a pearl shade. So yeah, those two are very close in color. So yeah, when I bring back my hand, you can tell that the colors look very similar. But if you are in person, if you look at it real good, there is a slight difference between the two colors. Okay. All right. So that's that one. So let's go on to the shade called Foxy in the Urban Decay palette. This one, of course, have a yellow tone to it. It's one of my favorites as well in the Urban Decay Naked. This is Foxy, as you can tell. That is Foxy. And the other shade in this palette is called Oops. O-O-P-S. Oops. Oops, you guys. And so this is how this one looks. And as you can tell, it is powdery or a bit chalky. Okay. So I'm going to swatch this one right. Look at how it applies. You see how it applies to my hand. All right. So as you can tell, the one that's called Foxy from the Urban Decay palette is more smoother to me. Like I said, the palette from the W7 is more chalky or powdery. The yellow tone, this one to me, as far as the look of it, the one that is out of the Urban Decay, which is Foxy, is a little bit more yellow tone than the one from the W7 palette. As you see, hopefully you can see, you guys. But yeah, the one called Foxy from the Urban Decay palette has more of a yellow tone, and this one has more of a beige tone powder, like a beigey tone. All right, so that's the difference between those two. The next one is called WOS, which has a pink tone to me. And this one is in the palette called, you know, the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. This is the WOS, a shade. It's more pink tone type of brow bone color. As you see here, it's very smooth. Okay, so like I said, this is the shade called Venus. This is a shade called WOS, which is my favorite brow bone highlight. I have this on my brow bone today. And these colors are very similar in color, okay? There is a slight difference as I'm looking at it. This one from the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette is more pink tone type of brow bone color. And the other one, to me, looks a little bit, you can see the pink tone just a little bit, but it actually look a little bit beigey, like a beige pink tone color. That's what it looks like to me. So yeah, it's a little bit of a difference, but when you pull them back, you guys, I want you to know, when you pull them back, they do look very similar except for these two shades. You can automatically tell the shades called Oops and the shade called Foxy. You can tell that Foxy is more yellow tone, but Up close, like I said, up close you can really tell the difference, but far away you wouldn't be able to tell the difference in a sense, except for Foxy and Oops. But yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. This is more, to me, beige tone, brow bone color, and this one is more of a pink tone, brow bone color, which is called WOS. Okay, all right, let's go on to the next shade, which is called Wink. This one, well, first let me just stay in order. Okay, the next shade is called Naked 2. Okay, all right, so I'm going to swatch Naked 2. All right, swatch it good so you can see it. And then the shade from the W7 is called Wink. This shade, it's called Wink. Alright. Alright. As you can tell, this one is the Urban Decay Naked Basics, which is very smooth and more buttery texture to me. And the W7 brand is still somewhat powdery and chalky looking, especially powdery on this color. I'm going to grab a little bit more of that color called Wink from the W7. Now, I hope you can see the difference. To me, the the Naked 2, the Naked 2 color looks more gray tone to me, like a gray tone or smoky gray or slate color to me. And then the is like it looks like it has a little bit of purple brown, like a light brown purple hue to it. Now that's what it looks like to me. Everybody's different, but they are a little bit different, but not much. They are very close though in comparison, but there is a slight difference. But when you pull it back, like I said, from a distance they do look similar, but up close you can kind of tell the difference between the two. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and watch the shade called Faint from the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. Alright, I'm going to have to put it over here because I don't have no more room on my hand. Alright, there's the shade called Faint from Urban Decay. Alright, and the shade that's in here, this brown shade right here, let's swatch it beside it. And you guys, those two colors are very similar. Like, they are so similar. Those are more similar than the rest of the shades to me. Very similar. Like, I can add some more of this color from the W7 palette and blend it out, and you'll see, even blended, it looks very similar. Blend it out. Look at that. Very similar in color. Very similar. Now, I do notice that when you blend it out, you kind of can tell that this brown from the W7 palette, this brown is a little bit more on a warmer tone. And this brown from the Urban Decay Naked Basics is more cool tone. That's what I noticed, as you should be able to see. Even when I pull my arm back, when I pull my arm up close. But the color is about the same. It's just different in the tone. This one, alright, this color called Crave. Okay, let's swatch it from the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. It's very intense. It's one of my favorite. That is the shade called Crave. And then from the W7, this is the shade called Cargo. Alright. And I'm swatching it, as you can see. This is Cargo. And let's see, is there any similarities? Still powdery. This This palette is powdery or chalky, but that is the shade called hold on. Shade from the Urban Decay palette called Crave. This is the shade called Cargo. And as you can tell, they are very similar. Very, very similar. The only thing is that, like I said, with the W7 palette, it is more powdery. As you can tell, the textures are different. So, yeah, this one doesn't have as much pigmentation as the Urban Decay Basics palette. So yeah, so now you see all the shades, the comparisons, and as you can tell that yeah, the pigmentation on these two colors somewhat are not the same, but very, very similar. I would say out of all of them, these shades right here are more similar to me, especially this shade and the shades right here, and this shade right here, and this one. There are some that are very similar, but you can definitely tell that they are not like the same as in Dupe's same, okay? But hey, it works, especially with the primer. These colors can be easily smoothed out because I have done a tutorial on my other channel with the palette, the W7 In the Mood palette, and I know that this palette can work with a primer or an eyeshadow base. So yeah, it's still to me an okay palette. I mean, it's good. I mean, it works, okay? But I just wanted to show this just in case some of you may not know of this palette or really like these palettes right here, so I picked up this one. I have another one that's on its way, and I can't wait to get it and take a look at it. But yeah, so I wanted to show you this, and I saw how similar they are as far as when you hold them side by side. Like, they are very, very similar. Okay, it's very, very similar to the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette 1. So yeah, all right, I'm supposed to be getting another one that is similar to Urban Decay Naked Basics 2 palette. That's the one I'm waiting on, but this is the one called W7 In the Mood Natural Nudes Eye Color Palette, okay? And like I said, it does have names on the back of them as far as the shades. So yeah, all right, I wanted to show you all that palette. I've been using the palette and I like the palette, okay? It's a good cheap alternative. I do like it. All you need is a primer or an eyeshadow base and it works, okay? Alright, so I'm going to let you all go. And so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment if you like, and share and subscribe if you like my video. And so yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day or a wonderful evening, and you are beautiful and stay beautiful. And I hope this video, as far as the you know, like I said, I have a new camera here. I'm learning the settings for this one. I hope it looks okay. I hope it's alright. As you guys just know, I'm not good with electronics either. So yeah, I'm learning. Alright, I'm gonna let you go. So you all have a wonderful day or wonderful evening, and you are beautiful and stay beautiful, okay? Mwah. Bye-bye. Bye.